Y'all, some crazy news just got released from the CDC in regards to the birth rate in the United States. Do you think that what we are about to see is because people are broke and that having children is just far too expensive in this economy?
The new CDC report shows more women are having babies in their 40s. The report says the general fertility rate has gone down, but the number of women having children from ages 40 to 44 rose 2%. Medical experts say potential factors include access to birth control and women waiting longer to get married. Dr. Sutton, why is this so significant?
It has many reasons why it's significant. Number one, it not only reflects a change in your personal preference, but also a reflection of policy. They looked at this federal report of fertility rate, and it found that under the age of 40, there was an overall reduction in the rate of women having children. Between the ages of 40 and 44, they saw a slight increase, but again, overall, there was a decrease. And when you compare these numbers to 2002, it's astonishing. There's a 22% reduction. Now, aside from access to birth control, aside from waiting longer, there's also increasingly difficult to have a child. We're seeing a decrease in the ability to have opportunities to pay for childcare. In some families, it's more than 25% of earnings, and that becomes not only financially burdensome, but also medically risky, as many women don't have access to OB birthing centers in many counties within the United States.
I don't think a lot of people needed this report to come out from the CDC in regards to birth rates to know that it's a little bit high to have children in this economy.
Why did y'all have to do a study to figure that out? I could have told y'all that was going to happen without even doing a study. You want to know why?
Why?
I got invited to a baby shower the other day.
Right.
I said, bet, let me go get some Pampers and make a diaper cake. Do you know how much a pack of 25 Pampers is? I just checked, and a pack of 66 Pampers is $28 now.
Wait, hold on. We gotta look. How much is a pack of 60 Pampers? Y'all, a pack of 60 Pampers. And this is the sensitive skin, because I just feel like if I had a baby, they would have sensitive skin, because I do. But let me see. Are my eyes mistaking me? Y'all, it says it's $44.99 for a pack of 60 Pampers. And we haven't even talked about the fact that they need multiple diapers per day. They need to get changed. They're not wearing the same one. So each Pamper is worth about $1.30 in this box. Y'all, if you were to change the child like 6 times a day, which I don't know, that might be, I don't know. Y'all parents out there tell me, is that normal? That's about $8 a day just for the Pampers. That's already too much for me. And we didn't even talk about daycare or anything extra.
Some might say, that ain't that much. That's a lot of Pampers. I went to see my best friend like last month. She got a new son. She had to change that boy so much. I'm pretty sure if I asked both of my girlfriends who got babies how many Pampers they go through in a day, they probably say at least 5 to 9.
I was way off. Oh, 9? Some of y'all are like 10 or 11. Oh, them babies doing y'all in. Oh, doing your wallets in.
Them babies be peeing. They be uncomfortable. As soon as they get uncomfortable, you got to change the diaper.
And y'all, there's been a lot of back and forth on TikTok, a lot of viral videos on this topic. And it says here, being a child-free woman contributing to the declining birth rate right now feels so good.
Being a woman without kids right now at this point in history, it is the best, most exclusive club to be a part of. We are living the lives that so many of our ancestors, the women who came before us, wanted to live, but literally couldn't. They couldn't even dream of having the freedom that we have created for ourselves. We are public enemy number one. We are the biggest threat to their lifestyle, their livelihood, and thus they attack us, they belittle us. But it's because they're scared of us. We hold the birth rate in the palm of our hands. And if it continues to drop, they will have no choice but to restructure and reallocate funds to women having babies. So we are literally actively making things better and creating benefits for the women who come after us and for all the women out there who do want kids. It feels so good.
Do y'all think that there will be some sort of funding or government funding to incentivize women to have children, or there will be more programs or things like that offered by the government? Because whatever is being offered right now clearly ain't enough. It clearly ain't enough to get people to be like, yeah, I'm okay with struggling financially to bring a child into the world. And I'm all for people wanting to have children or deciding not to have children. Either way, I feel like people should do what's best for them. But financially, a lot of people are feeling hindered in this economy because of job losses, not being able to find a job, or not making enough money, not being able to afford a home. So there's a lot of different concerns for people in the younger age range. And they're like, hey, I'm not sure if I want to pop babies out. Because guess what? After that, you have now created somebody that you must be able to financially provide for at least 18 years. And that's if you don't kick them out when they're 18. And I know a lot of y'all like to do that, so let's not play. But if you really think about the cost of being a parent, a lot of people are like, hey, I can't afford to do that and work and pay back my student loans, and my job isn't giving me a raise or giving me enough money. The pros just aren't outweighing the cons. And honestly, a lot of those people may even want to have children. It might just be out of their price range. And for those people, it's very sad, especially if they wanted to be parents. But on the opposite side, a lot of people are opting out and feeling really happy about it because they're able to line their pockets. They're able to do the things they've always wanted to do and not feel like, hey, anything is holding me back financially. Because let's be honest, whenever you have children, financially, they come first. Whatever you want and need or wish for out of life, it's going to come second to the children.
But I hate when people are like, low fertility, this, low birth rate, that. No, formula's $50. Daycare is like $2,000 a week. You think I'm gonna spend that on a fucking kid? Okay, let me go back. You think I have that to spend on a fucking kid? That's insane. And you are fucking insane.
And she said something I want to point out. She said, do you think I have that? See, that is the part that's what I was saying. A lot of people just don't even have it. And I know, there's going to be a group of people like, you need to be fruitful and multiply. How dare you women not want to have children? Blah, blah, blah. That's all you're good for. Slow your roll, because everybody ain't married to you and everybody ain't yours. Now, sometimes in a marriage, that's not what the couple wants to do, and sometimes it is, and that is okay. It does not make somebody less of a person, less of a woman, less of a man if they do not have children. Additionally, there is nothing wrong with being a mother or a father. People have the choice to do what they want with their life. So I think when a lot of people just unprovoked will come up to you and be like, yeah, you should be having children. What's wrong with you? Like, you haven't had children yet. You may not be considering that person's financial decisions. A lot of the time, they literally look at you, they ask you how old you are, and then they're like, hey, what's up? And another thing I want to point out is it's never going to be enough for some people in society when you're talking about children. Do you ever notice some people have one child, right? Struggling already financially, and here comes somebody. Yeah, so when are you going to have another one? Don't you want them to have someone to play with? What if he gets lonely? What if she needs a friend? You know, just saying all this stuff, not considering what you have going on. And guess what? They don't care. Okay, so now you have two. And then when you have two, they're going to say, oh, you're going to have more. And you have three. And then everybody starts looking at you like, hey, you got a little much. And then you start struggling financially and everybody just starts saying, oh, didn't nobody tell you to have all them kids? Now you got four of them. Oh, you expect somebody to help you? You need help? You're not making enough money. See, and this is why you got to be honest with yourself. It's okay if you're like, hey, I can't afford that. I can't afford 3 kids. It's expensive. It's fine. Some people can only afford 1. Some people can only afford none. Bringing children into the world is not cheap. And we didn't even talk about just you being at the hospital and giving birth. And you better hope you have good health care because them hospital bills, crazy. Be honest with yourself. And I would even encourage people to look up what the cost of having children is for all these different things. How much is it going to cost you every year? And ask yourself, are you ready?
We're more focused on being financially stable than having a freaking kid. We're focused on our careers and our education instead of having a kid. And the government is pissed. And you know what? I like it. Let's keep this going. Less and less teenagers are having kids.
Look, I know a lot of people be like, no, you're focusing on your career. That's the problem. It's a problem. You trying to make sure you can be a functioning adult by yourself. It's a problem. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people understand that if you have a child and stuff don't work out and you're by yourself, it still costs money. Right? It still costs money to have the child. Whether you are with the child's father or not, somebody has to take care of the child. That's just the honest truth. So that means somebody probably is going to need some money. If the mom wants to have the child, they might need some money. If the dad wants to have the child, they might need some money. And hopefully they can be together in one family unit, in one household, so the child can grow up with 2 parents. And though we may all want that, understand that sometimes that doesn't happen. So, being that you have made a financial commitment to a child for 18 years, I think plain and simple, a lot of people just want to make sure they can provide for their child. And that costs money, y'all. So yes, I think people are trying to set themselves up and get educated and things of that sort. And I don't really see what the problem is. And it's only fair that we get some men's perspective on this because it does take a man and a woman to make a baby. So let's see what they think.
What did y'all expect? This not the same economy that was definitely treating people in their 20s right so they can have kids, not even go to college, build the household from there because only one person got to really bring home the bread. Like, what are you talking about? Obviously, this is going to happen. Kids are expensive. Like, I teach students and I tell them, listen, y'all, I don't got money to buy y'all food. So don't look at me to buy y'all food. And they still ask me for food. Like, y'all have to understand the idea about cause and effect. The economy is too high. Price is too high. So the things to nurture and take care of a baby is just relatively too expensive. Even though we want to have kids. Or for those that don't want to have kids, that's fine. More money in your pocket, but we can't have kids and live comfortably. It's going to be a struggle and a sacrifice at the same time.
Now, I can see where he's coming from, and I think he worded this a lot better than what I was just trying to say, which kind of goes back to when the last woman was talking about how women are getting degrees and trying to make sure they're advancing in their careers. If they want to have children, they may have to do that. A lot of households at this point in time need 2 incomes. Now, I know there's a group of people that are like, hey, I don't need it. Like, my wife ain't got to work. My husband ain't got to work. And I'm glad, like, that's great. But for a lot of younger people, when we're talking about those statistics that they were saying earlier, did y'all notice that those were the people who were a little bit later in life, the people who probably had money, the people who probably had degrees and had resources in order to take care of a child? When we're talking about that young 20, 19, 8, like people used to have kids young back in the day. They're not doing it now. They're looking around like, hey, I'm in debt. I'm not getting paid enough. Why would I pop out a baby? I'm be even more in debt. They already using Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, all these buy now, pay later services, digging themselves into debt quite young. Do y'all see how young the people are that I be doing these videos on and how much debt they're in? And we didn't even get started on student loan debt and how a lot of people are struggling to figure out how they're going to pay that off. So when the conversation of children is popping up, all they can see is debt. That's all they can see is debt. And then they're like, hey, like more money coming out my pocket every day for formula, diapers, daycare, because some people are still going to try to work because they're like, hey, we need more money in this household. And for a lot of people, that brings them a lot of financial stress. I think most people are just like, hey, I got to put me first. Like, I can't bring nobody else into this world until I can make sure I'm straight. And that's really what I think it's come down to.
Okay, call me stupid, and I know everyone's going to call me stupid, but I don't understand the issue with birth rates declining. Like, what's the deal? Like, who cares? Like, what's going to happen to the world if the birth rates do decline? I got my child right here. Me and my son right here.
Not her covering up the dog's privates like that's her son. Now, this is just my thoughts. I think the problem might be, hey, if there's less people being populated in the United States, we're going to have less worker bees. I don't know how to say it. Less worker bees to do the jobs that people don't want to do, and that affects the economy, slows down production, slows down the amount of inventory that can be created for whatever the product is. But to be honest, I don't know, because AI, the way AI coming, like, who knows if they would even need us anyway? You know, because we got to be honest, a lot of this stuff has to do with money. When we're talking businesses and population and stuff like that, we got to remember, we were raised to be functioning members of society. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, what we are told to do is to go to work, get a job, and go work for a corporation, go work for a business, or whatever the case may be. So if you really think about it, we were brought up in school and taught to help other people make money. And it wasn't just us. It was our moms, our grandparents. We were all taught the same things as societal norms. That's what we do. We did the things that we were told to do, to go to college, get a good job, to have children. Do you see all of this stuff is on the map? You're supposed to get the house and the kids. But it was very rare to hear anything like, hey, yeah, you should be making something of your own. Unless you were going to school for business or something like that in college, which, again, they already got you because now they got you in the college, which was one of the steps. But you see what I'm saying? Everything was very structured about how we're supposed to go about this as adults. And yes, even though there may be the onesies and twosies that did something different, that didn't do what everybody else is doing, and they got different results, some for the better and some for the worse, we have to remember what the majority is doing. And the majority just did what they were told to do. So they need that next generation to do the same thing. So in my opinion, I think the next generation is needed to do the same thing, because we keep passing down the same thing to our children, which is essentially whatever we were taught and told is socially acceptable, which is whatever everybody else was doing. And I'm gonna be honest, they wasn't telling us back in the day, like, yeah, don't have no children, get a dog, and that be it, and just live your life. Nobody was telling you to be a dog mom. Nobody was like, yeah, go against the grain, just get a dog. That was not considered normal. You see what I'm saying? But now that's what people are like, hey, that's what I'm doing. And that's what I've done. I have nothing against the dog moms. I'm a dog mom myself. A lot of people have opted for the animals instead of children because they're cheaper. I mean, look at the dog. That's a happy looking dog. And just so you don't think it's a woman thing, y'all, it's a real thing. It's a whole squad of us out here. We are proud dog parents. cat parents, turtle parents, hamster parents, whatever animal of your choice, we have chosen it at this point. A lot of us. This man right here got a cat wrapped around his hip, and he's saying this and contributing to the declining birth rate. Look, he got him a dog too, off on the side somewhere, just about to walk up and waiting on a treat. A lot of people, this is what they aspiring. A dog or a cat that they can dress up every now and then in a nice little suit and put them on a little cape every now and then. We're celebrating their birthdays with a little hat. Everything you would do with a kid, they doing it with a dog. I'm not lying to you. I be at the dog parks. That's what they doing. Now, I know a lot of y'all are used to people spoiling their kids, but a lot of people are opting not to have kids because they're priced out, so they're spoiling their pets. The pets are getting all the treats. They're getting insurance. They're getting pet insurance. Yeah, insurance for the dog. They're going to the doctor, getting the tartar removed off their teeth. They're doing that for a dog. And do y'all know that's really expensive too? Getting the tartar off. You don't know nothing about that. Okay, it's okay.
The U.S. birth rate is at an all-time low. Don't nobody want these kids. Y'all done made this economy affordable. And y'all expect us to keep having kids. Yeah, we see ain't no more American dream. This some bullshit. The corporation is sucking up all the money up out of society. Why the will we continue to have kids when y'all motherfuckers is selfish? Y'all not even making this a good society. The U.S. birth rate is low. Duh. Y'all let the corporations buy up all the houses, buy up all the land, not pay livable wages. And then y'all mad because we can't afford kids. Y'all greedy took all the money that we used to have to afford these kids. Daycares. Having to put a kid in daycare is a second mortgage.
Well, it is.
What are we talking about? Y'all don't make affordable for people with kids? Why the will people continue to have kids? If y'all not gonna make society livable and convenient to have children, why the will we keep having kids?
And you know what? I know a lot of y'all are going to disagree, but sometimes people are showing the cheese ain't worth the pool. It's not worth it. Like, it's not. They looking down that road and all they see is pain. All they see is darkness. And some of them want to do it. They want to do it. But the math ain't mathing for them. The math is not there. People are looking at the cost of daycare and how things just keep getting worse and worse every year. And they're not making more money. But the cost of everything, and I mean the cost to have those children is going up. The cost of those diapers, the cost of those wipes, Pampers, the daycare, the medical, the dental, the school supplies, the shoes, the clothes, and the rent or the mortgage to house the children with them. It's a little bit too much for some people. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, so make it work. Well, you see, the problem is when you do something like that and you can't afford it, it's just like anything else. You end up in debt or you end up struggling. The math is only going to go one way. And meanwhile, you still got to be able to live on less than what you make. That's if you want to have a budget, if you want to have some sort of extra money just in case something happens, because a lot of people don't have an emergency fund, and people with children probably need an emergency fund and a savings more than the next person. So how are they going to do it if they paying a second mortgage for daycare? Now, some of y'all got big bank out there, and I'm glad. I'm happy. But I'm just being honest. A lot of people don't see it. They don't see how they would be able to afford it.
They genuinely thought that they were going to be able to take away everything that we remotely have that's good in America, which is not a lot, by the way. Take away everything that's remotely good in America from us, and that we're still going to lay down and have kids? I didn't need an article to know that. Of course we're not having kids. Childcare is like $1,000 a month.
You're way off.
Who can afford that? We can barely afford to take care of ourselves, let alone formula is $50. Then at that, you don't want to do anything to help us. Why would we bring a child into this world? You're making it harder to get a higher education. Why would we have kids? Who the is having a kid for the economy? Let it all crash and burn. Let it all burn.
And you know what? There's going to be some man somewhere. Somebody. So, you're here to populate the earth. You better do it anyway. The ones who have that sort of mindset, those people would never be there in the event that you have a moment and you break down and you don't have enough money. These will be the same people calling you a bad mother when you're not doing enough. I'm being dead serious. They will be right there. Oh, how dare you? You need to do better for your kids. Oh, the minute they need some help. Whoa, nobody told you to get down and have them babies. You do it. Oh, so you mean to tell me that they were always on their own financially? You didn't know their life and you didn't know their finances and you didn't know how they were going to struggle? And oh, what? You don't care? Oh, surprise, surprise. Y'all don't let nobody pressure you. You're a disgrace. Are you going to give them some money? Are you going to help them? Are you going to buy them a house? Are you going to make sure that child goes to college? Are you going to do it? If not, shut up. Shut up. We tired of y'all. Look, and people are just saying, hey, this is how I'm contributing to the declining birth rate. They on yachts. They on yachts, y'all. They're like, hey, I'm living my life. No children, eating some carrots. Like, what do y'all got going on? And it's okay, y'all. Everybody don't have to have children. It's okay. Everybody don't want children. You should want people to have children that want to have children in the first place so they can grow up in a good environment. Not everybody just having children just so you can be like, yeah, you did what you were supposed to do. Even though your child don't have their basic needs met because you don't got no money and you're struggling, you're trying to figure it out, and now you don't got time to figure it out, and nobody cares if you can't figure it out because you brought them into the world and it's your responsibility. Y'all, just think about your life. For real, think about it. And here's another one. How billionaires expect us to react to declining fertility rates. It's almost like making life too expensive to live has consequences. And y'all, look, TikTok has been having a field day with this one. Somebody here says, they always told us, if you can't afford kids, don't have them, then get mad when we do that. I heard the same thing, and I thought that was sound advice until it actually became too unaffordable. And then it's like, what do you want people to do? What do you want them to do? Just do it anyway? Then we will be calling them irresponsible. Not only that, then some people would say they're bad parents. Oh, now you're a bad mom. Now you're a bad dad.
Don't talk to me about no U.S. birth rates. You want to know why it's low? It's low because the gas is high. It's low because the heat is high. It's low because rent is high. It's low because groceries is high. Ain't nobody trying to bring no kid with no money into this. You think it's just the women? No, men are refusing to have babies too. Like, I need my income to near triple just to take care of a kid. Like, no.
Valid points here. Valid points. I want to know, for all the men that watch, y'all comment down below. Do y'all even think it's too expensive? And the women too. Do y'all think that is way too expensive to have children? Are you shocked from the birth rates that the CDC released? I'm not shocked at all. And I thought this video right here was hilarious.
Oh no, the birth rate's declining. I won't have enough slaves to pump out more money into my pocket, and then I won't be able to afford my 5 yachts so that I can live on the water when the sea levels rise and consume all the land. What do you mean they're concerned about the cost of childcare? Just get a nanny to watch the kids 7 days a week and pay her nothing and maybe occasionally feed her. She'll be grateful just to have something to do. They're worried about being thrown a $100,000 hospital bill? Did they not get an inheritance from their grandparents' life insurance? Do they not have trust funds?
Now, I just gotta ask, do you have children? And if you do not have children, do you not have children because you are worried about the prices of everything in this economy being way too high, and you're a little worried that you may not be able to afford raising a child for 18 years? If that's you, comment down below. And do you think that these sort of concerns are what's contributing to the birth decline in younger Americans in the United States? But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.